Which feels more like you? You believe that manifesting feels easy, natural, fluid, or you believe that it's work, that if you're feeling insecure, doubtful, or can't stick to the identity related to your desire, that nothing is going to work out. If you're on the feels like work side, then stick around. If you in the smooth sailing mode with manifesting and wondering how to get to the next level, that video is coming soon. But meanwhile, enjoy my 400 pieces of content on my channel right here. So if you're feeling stuck because you have to work on yourself, your insecurities and your doubts, and really just get in there and dig them out, like going down that rabbit hole no matter how long it takes. You are buying into a myth. A myth. You are already perfect. That is the fact, including your insecurities, your doubts, your fears, your what ifs, the whole package. It's so much baggage, it keeps on dragging you down. All of that is still part of the inner perfection. So stick with me here because we're going to get very clear on what this means. Think of all of it being, in God's eyes, perfect, just as perfect as if you already had manifested the 6 figures or 7 figures, if you already manifested the house, the lavish vacation, the perfect partner, or any of it. It's, to God, it's always perfect. And that's why some time ago I did a video about a Hindu mantra that the English translation goes, this is perfect, that is perfect. If you take the perfect away from the perfect remains. So it's understanding that because all of it is in God and made of God, that all comes back to God, that God and I are one and my Father is greater, then everything essentially is perfect. But it's only conditioning and ideas about it, and also the patterns that have formed and solidified in your life, so that what you label as an insecurity or a doubt might be why things never work out, or you keep attracting a certain type of job or SP, or have many disappointments. When you recognize that, you can see, oh, it's just my pattern showing up. And when you see that it's the pattern, you then, as Bashar calls it, you have a choice. Bashar has said when you don't recognize it, it's a pattern. It's unconscious. But when you have seen it and you nail it, now it's a choice. And Neville, of course, says this too. He says it in another way, which is that you can, if you have manifested an unlovely result, an unlovely state, an unlovely experience as a result of your pattern, then you can choose again. You again can choose a more lovely outcome, a different, a more lovely way of thinking about it, where you know you are deserving of it, that you are worthy of it, that you didn't need to depend on anyone's or any group's approval of it, that you didn't need a permission slip for it to manifest, that it's all meant to come to you in whatever perfect way it's going to come at the perfect time. There's nothing that isn't perfect. So even if a part of you is still feeling, I know it said that we say we want something, but if inwardly we're feeling a little shaky about it, we're having a little doubt about it, that it's not going to happen, allow that in, that even that is perfect, because in its own way, it's going to be a reflection of what you need to see, so that you are going to be led to what you really want in a new way. And that it moves you into that easy, natural, fluid state that I mentioned right at the beginning. So if you think about it, they're just showing you that you can choose differently. And that is absolutely the key. If it's not lovely, what shows up, you choose again. You just say, oh yeah, it was that unlovely idea that I had, whatever you want to call it, but it's, an unlovely idea, and I can do it again. You always are able to, in a sense, you're forgiving yourself, because God immediately is going to forgive you. It's no sin if you've chosen again. Sin just means you missed the mark. So if you're off base in how you chose, it's just as perfect in its own right. Which is sounds odd, I know, but it is just as perfect in its own right as if you had absolutely nailed it head on. The first time had the hole in one, so to speak. And years ago, this is many years ago, so like when I was learning to swim, I was very fearful of the water. And I was scared to actually practice swimming down the center of the pool or in a lane that wasn't near the sides of the pool. I felt that was protection and safe to be near the sides, so that if I suddenly wanted to stop, I could just reach out and I could grab the sides of the pool. And I wasn't using I know they have these cute noodles and jackets and all these other things. I just didn't have it where I was learning to swim. I just did what I did. I would practice my swimming strokes really too near the sides to be comfortable. So I was constantly grabbing the sides and stopping and starting and stopping and starting, or not practicing my breathing or any of the stuff that goes with learning to swim. I decided I was going to be terrible at it. This is what happens when your mind state is set to, I'm going to be bad at this. It was a pattern that I had, and I just couldn't shake it at that time. So I would being near the sides, and the sides of a swimming pool, as you probably know if you have been a swimmer or are a swimmer, is a terrible place to practice, unless you're just holding it and you're kicking out and that's all you're doing. But other than that, if you're really trying to swim, no way. It is really bad. You cannot swim comfortably. So you must swim closer to the center to feel the ease, the freedom, and the buoyancy, right, of having a beautiful, fun experience, or to exercise, or whatever you want to do, to really enjoy it, to relax, to de-stress. You need to let go of anything that you're trying to cling to. So no wonder Neville Goddard saw this as a way to describe expanding as a manifester. And he said, when you attain control of the inner direction of your attention, so this is getting a grip on when your mind keeps drifting, maybe to those insecure and doubtful places, or when it just loses focus and gets distracted. It could be any one of 1,000 things. That you no longer stand in the shallow waters. So when you get control of which way your mind keeps going, where is your attention, where is your focus, as opposed to where you're putting your intention, your desire, then you will no longer stand in the shallow water, Neville said, but you will launch out into the deep of life. But that wasn't all he said. He said, then he goes on with one more line, and he says, you will walk in the assumption of the wish fulfilled as on a foundation more solid even than the earth. How cool is that? A foundation more solid even than the earth, because your faith in the fulfillment of your desire, of your wish, is ironclad. It's so solid that is perfect. It is supporting you perfectly. And it's not that when you're in the shallows that it's it sounds like that's imperfect and it's wrong. It's where you are, but it's recognizing that you can take that bigger leap, take that bigger step, and have this firm foundation, knowing that God is supporting you. It's kind of like that famous Bette Midler song, "You Are the Wind Beneath My Wings." It's the same thing, but it's referring to the earth. It's absolutely the same. So explore that. I'd love to hear in the comments if you've ever had an experience of shifting from that doubtful, insecure state into feeling solid, standing in the deeper waters, or feeling that standing on the earth, that sense of security, and that knowing that it would all be okay. I'd love to hear from you about that, and consider that this is how you can shift as you go into the new year 2026. Love you so much, Boo, and I'll see you in the next video.